I'm totally leaving that in.
Do it. Totally unscripted. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Off the Edge Podcast. We are on episode 9, as yet to be titled. We are joined today with Zach Cook from Soupman, and now recently Shilohs Crossing.
What?
Yep.
He's also the event coordinator for June Jamz, and we're going to talk about that tonight. So, hello, Zach.
How's it going?
It's great.
Going
Glad
well,
to have
man.
you here.
Yeah, thanks for
Oh.
being with us.
It's always
Thanks for
it's
inviting me.
always nice having multiple Zachs on the show. It doesn't get confusing at all.
No.
And I think 50% of our shows so far have had a second Zach.
Exactly.
Maybe not.
Where
Maybe
else will you? Where else will you
33%.
get that kind of action?
Right?
Do you spell your name with a K?
H.
H. Okay, me too. So that's even more confusing. All right, great. Oh man, thanks a lot for being here. So you play bass and Soupman still, is that right?
Yeah, I do bass and lead vocals.
And lead vocals, and then I haven't seen you with Shilohs Crossing yet.
We have yet to debut with me on rhythm guitar and our new vocalist India May taking Ashley Duncan's spot.
Awesome. Okay.
So our debut should be August 22nd at Rock the River. So
Okay. Cool. Rock the River. Where's Rock the River at? Let's plug that.
Rock the River will be the same location as June Jamz, Highway 400 and Wallace Road, east of Parsons. Other acts will be Bogart from Neodache will be headlining it with got a couple in the works trying to get another band or two.
Sweet.
Maybe a solo act starting it off. But
Awesome. Okay. Cool. We'll have to definitely check that out.
Right on.
So what got you over to Shilohs Crossing?
I'm friends with Terry. I've known Matthias forever. Him and my little brother were great friends, always in bands and whatnot. Their lead guitarist, Brett, heck, I used to work with him back at Ron's IGA when I was 18, you know. And it just, we got talking. I was originally going to audition for vocals, but they wanted a female vocalist, so they were like, well, would you like to come try out for guitar? I said, why not?
It's not having two guitars is never a bad thing.
No, that's awesome. And I love Shilohs Crossing. I can't wait to see what the new Shilohs Crossing sounds like. I loved Ashley's vocals.
Yeah.
It's yeah, of course, I'll be sad to see her go. But you said the new singer's name is
India May.
India May.
Yep.
All right. So is she pretty badass?
Oh, she can wail.
Sweet.
I mean,
Awesome.
highs, lows, mids.
Got it all.
It's amazing what she can do.
She's
This
like
is-
the Matt Austin of female vocalists.
And this is her first band, so
reason to-
I'm really interested to see what she can do live and where she's going to take it. So
There is absolutely
Awesome.
no reason to attack her before she's even been. So I follow both bands, follow you on Facebook. Soupman's been doing some recording, haven't they?
oh, we were.
Right.
We were. Then we had a house fire, and the recording has come to a complete halt. We did just recently drop down to a 3-piece band too, rather than a 4-piece. So we're having to rework certain songs to accommodate for it, and
Right.
I mean, it will happen.
Yeah.
It will happen. It's just
Life.
this year has been one heck of a year, as everybody well knows.
Yeah, I think somebody said it best that they felt like the Mayans were dyslexic or something like
Oh, they were just off by a few
they were just
years.
off, yeah.
Yeah.
So 2000 and 2020. Yeah. Wow. It has been a year. It's been something else.
Yep.
So tell us about June Jamz.
June Jamz. This is going to be the 3rd annual one, as you all know. You guys played last year. 666, June 6th, starting at 6. $5 donation at the door to get in. You got 5 great acts. BYOB. Yeah, all of the IDs will be checked at the gates, of course. This year we are, because of COVID-19, encouraging people to wear masks and use social distancing. I mean, I'm not really worried about anything coming up about social distancing. We're sitting on a 5-acre plot outside. So.
You got some room.
If we can't stay apart from each other, there's a problem.
Yeah.
But this year,
we're kind of fortunate just living where we do in a somewhat rural area. That's such a weird word to say, right? Rural. But, we haven't been hit nearly as hard as some places here in Southeast Kansas, which we're fortunate for that.
Yeah.
As hard as it might be, but I'm sorry to interrupt you. But
you're fine. You're fine. This year, we will have concessions out there. I mean, you're going from 6 o'clock in the evening to midnight.
Yeah.
So we're going to have concessions there this year: hot dogs, nachos, Frito chili pies. I mean, all your typical
concession,
like from high school football game.
Hey, if you can't get it at the baseball fields this year, come to June Jamz.
There you go.
That's right.
And I mentioned it the other day. All the festivals, all the big festivals, all the concerts, all the hundreds of dollars that everybody was willing to spend for these major national acts that aren't going to happen. Come check out a local band,
or even the local events that were going to happen. I mean, Katie Days got canceled.
Yep.
I mean, here's a chance to get out, see other people, hear some music, and
independent music, independent promotion. Independent show.
Yeah, from the ground up.
Yeah,
and why not support something in your own backyard?
You never know. You may find your new favorite band.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably won't be EdgeOverEdge.
Soupman though.
Soupman.
I was thinking Death by Zombie.
What?
They are a show.
They are a show.
They're a great show.
If anything, they just put on one hell of a show. Come out and just enjoy it. You may not like the music, but I guarantee you will be entertained.
You will have fun.
Yeah. If you don't know about Death by Zombie, you do now. You know that it's a must-see act.
It really is. For this area, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And a super bunch of guys.
Yeah, they're awesome guys, and
don't let all the masks and blood and gore and guts and vomit and piss and shit. And I'm just kidding. It's not a gore show. It's like a baby gore show. But no, these guys are awesome.
They are. They're an experience.
Yes.
You don't listen to Death by Zombie. You experience them.
That's right.
Very well said on that.
So jumping back to Soupman, where did the name come from?
I mean, back when we first started, I mean, we started off as a 5-piece actually, and just searching for names. We all threw one in the ring, and the original name, Travis King, who was our vocalist at the time, he came up with it, but he exited the band right before the first show. So we kept that name through the first show, and then out of respect for him, we let it go and went with the second pick, which our drummer Taylor Ray came up with. And she liked the name Soupman because it sounded like Superman, but was not Superman.
Right. Okay. That's legit.
That is how she explained it to us. So why not?
Hey, yeah.
It makes you look twice.
Well, it does. It does. I remember the first time I saw you. You were playing bass for Sleigh Ground.
Mm-hmm.
I saw them in St. Paul.
Wow.
A little hole in the wall bar in St. Paul. I don't even know.
Freak Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Freak Fest.
I don't even know if it's still open. Well,
I
obviously
think
right
it's
now
still,
it's
I think it's
open,
Club Tropics actually.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that was the first time I saw you play, and that was.
Oh God. 10 years ago?
Oh, a while back. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was with the Night Killer Strangle It, did their music video.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Little regional history there for you.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, if you haven't ever heard of Killer Strangle It, dig up some old stuff. You'll find it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just hit YouTube.
Yeah.
It's all over.
They rock for sure. This is gonna sound shitty. I don't mean it to sound shitty, but I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. I know it all. I'm expecting it. But your drummer, Taylor, is a beast. She's so fucking good. And why this sounds shitty is like you just don't see so many female drummers killing it. and she kills it. Like, of course, that shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if she's female or male or whatever. A good drummer's a good drummer. But it's just like, I don't know. For me, I was just like, dude, why don't more women just go out there and nail it like she does? She's so good.
Yeah, well,
she impresses me every time I see you guys play.
I mean, it is shitty that it is that way. But I mean, it's not just a local thing. I mean, it's that way on the national stage.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, you can probably count the number of or not necessarily mainstream, but larger
regional
bands.
acts.
Well, I mean, even national or tour, international acts. But you could probably count on one hand the number that have actual badass women drummers.
Right. I guess what I'm asking is, like, does that make me shitty that I think that ups the cool factor a little bit?
I don't know.
I don't know. But I mean, I just think that she's
it's
badass.
Having a female drummer.
Yeah,
I mean, me and her get in that pocket groove together,
and you do.
Like, wow,
you do so well.
I love it.
You really feel it too when you listen to you guys. Like, I enjoy the shit out of it. But yeah, like, I find her inspiring. She does subtle things. As a drummer, I pick it apart and I'm just like, whoa, I would have never thought to do that. Like, that's something that might not be really flashy or like something that's gonna, turn people's heads or something. But it's like, whoa, that was such a cool detail that I just would never have thought of doing that. And it's like, I find her style very inspiring, is what I'm saying.
See, she went to Pitt State drumming.
Yeah,
really?
Okay. She did drumline.
She was there with drumline with the circle and everybody.
Nice, that's awesome.
So
yeah. I didn't know that.
Hands.
Yeah. So I probably need to hit her up for some lessons, some technique things. I'm always trying to.
I'm sure everybody's up for a little extra cash right now.
Yeah, for real, right?
Yeah.
Then who's the third member of the band? Who's playing guitar with you guys?
Chad Palmer.
Chad Palmer.
Yep, Chad Palmer. He's an original, just like the me and Taylor. So.
Yep. So it's down to the original three. You guys find it kind of a little more easier to coordinate and get on the same page with just three people? Or is that even a factor for you guys?
Not so much really a factor. I mean, when we had Josh Johnson on lead guitar, I mean, he just meshed so well with us also. And I mean, again, he's one of those that you ask him and he grew up with my little brother and Taylor listening to me and my band play. So he grew up kind of knowing my style, and me and Chad, we our very first bands were the same band, and so everybody's kind of been around each other to know each other's styles.
Right.
Growing up our
by
entire
asking
lives.
that question, I did not mean to insinuate that he was hard to deal with or anything.
No,
I was
no, no. I'm not
just
taking
having
that whatsoever.
have one less person to coordinate with. I could see, it's like sometimes, like as a three-piece, when we were a three-piece, we'd be like, oh, it's kind of nice that we just have fewer people to kind of coordinate and get on the same page with.
Everybody's got lives outside of the band, and sometimes weekends don't line up, and the fewer members, the easier it is to avoid complications. I guess. I mean, just
gigs up, practice, everything.
Just imagine trying to be like a 9-piece band like Slipknot at our level, where everybody's got jobs, and at least two of them are working the night shift at a convenience store.
Right.
Yeah, Elder Earth was there. I mean, they had so many people, and I'm sure they were missing a member here or there quite frequently.
Yeah.
Right.
Be a logistical nightmare.
Another great band.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't know Elder Earth, check out Elder Earth, because they got to have stuff on YouTube and stuff, I'm sure, right?
I know. I put some of their stuff on YouTube.
So
and then Jack Barney, he's supposed to be getting back in the studio with Russ Head and finishing up the tracking and stuff for a lot of their music they got right now. So
yeah, they've had it setting in limbo, and I got the same word. We're gonna get it sooner rather than later.
We should have Jack on here at some point too.
Oh yeah,
that dude is a character and a half. One of the coolest front people of a band. I don't know, monster guitar player, monster personality,
monster bass player too.
Oh yeah.
My God.
Real, I've never heard him play bass, but I can imagine.
Yeah. He's a beast on it too.
Okay,
so.
I'm sure.
Right on.
Breaking
So
the
yeah,
awkward
so
silence.
a bit of breaking news. We recently picked up an affiliate. We now represent and by proxy are represented by thebeardstruggle.com. And I've got my order in, so I'm anxious to check out their beard products. I get this damn cow lick over on this side, and it just drives me crazy, man. It's like straighten that some bitch out.
That's awesome.
Anyway.
I need to check it out because over on my right side of my beard, it's like thinner than my left side.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I've got like a scar running along my jaw right there. It kind of fucks things up.
Yeah, I think actually one side grows faster than the other, so I think that's part of the. Anyway.
Yeah.
So thebeardstruggle.com.
Bald patch right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least it's underneath.
Yeah.
If you're interested in checking out any of their products, go to thebeardstruggle.com. Use promo code OffTheEdge15 and save 15% on your order, and we'll get a little kickback. So
yeah, if you want to support the program, if you're enjoying it,
get some products and support us.
Get some really kick-ass beard grooming products.
They got this whole Viking theme too, so you gotta love that. Their fragrances are Viking themed, like Ragnarok, and the scentless. I don't know why, but the scentless version is Loki.
Because it's low key.
Okay.
Oh. That's it. That's awesome.
So there you go. First crappy commercial. Way to go.
All right. Thanks for bearing through that with us.
Yeah. So after June Jamz, what's next?
Because of COVID-19, we haven't really been booking anything. Nobody's been booking, but like I stated earlier, August 22nd, we got Rock the River, same location. So,
I know TJ Leland's in Pittsburgh. They're starting to open up their booking. We've got a show with Coventry Sacrifice and Rages My Rifle in July.
That yesterday, I do believe.
So,
and then Legacy of Music is in September.
So, I haven't heard if they're gonna have the 3 bars again or.
Yeah, generally they have multiple locations playing.
I think
music.
From last I heard, there was going to be at least more than one because they were looking for bands to play at an all ages.
That's
event.
right.
So you would think that would insinuate alcohol.
Yeah.
Not alcohol. Because Shilohs said we would play the all ages one.
Yeah.
Awesome.
For those that don't know, Pittsburgh, Kansas, all the clubs and bars there are 21 and over. So that's a nice way to get the younger, and not just kids, anyone under 21. It's a college town, so that's a good way to get some extra traffic, and it's for a great cause.
Yep.
That goes towards music education. Is that?
Yeah.
So that's
and it's fun.
It is super fun.
Lots of fun.
It's fun. The only problem is when you play it, you can't watch the others.
Yeah. You're going to miss out on some of the bands because they're all going on at once in various locations.
And they divide them. I mean, they're all great bands, but it's like, oh, I wanted to see that. Oh, I want to see that.
And they're playing at the same time. So.
Oh, but wait, I'm playing with this one, so yes. We've got Trauma Fest coming up in August. As far as I know, that's still, actually, I know it's still a go. I got to update the flyer for Wayne. So
excellent.
Yeah. So,
and there will be more information to come on that. I'm sure we'll have Wayne here to talk about that.
It's in August. So, so we're focused on June Jamz.
June Jamz. But it's encouraging to see that things are like, again, we don't want to be foolhardy. We don't want to encourage anyone to do anything reckless, but it's encouraging for businesses around here to see things open up a little bit. Like, as you said earlier, Zach, where, encourage the wearing masks, we'll keep our kind of 6 feet apart, but, these businesses are struggling right now, like hardcore. I really fear that we're going to lose a lot of small businesses from the economic impact of this. It's not to be light on the devastation that the actual biological virus has caused, but the damage is twofold with this pandemic. And now that we found out that it's maybe not quite as deadly as what they at first thought it was going to be, maybe it is time to start slowly getting back to with cautions in place. If you're at risk, by all means, stay home.
Right.
Don't want to encourage anybody to be foolhardy. If you're an at-risk person, I don't want you to take chances.
It's a fine line.
It is,
and it has been from the start. What hasn't helped is all the conspiracy theorists. And, here's the thing. Even if any of it's true, what are you going to do about it?
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to make a Facebook post.
Right. Okay. So, okay, buddy, you're the first one to know.
Right. Like, I got to let people know that Bill Gates is eating babies or whatever.
I had this revelation the other day. Could you imagine a world without opinions? I mean, this is where I'll cue the clouds parting and the angels singing. A world without opinions.
If opinions are truly like assholes, and that would mean that their opinions can't be shat forth into the world, I think people might just explode. And
I've always said that opinions are like assholes, and you are one.
Yeah. Not you, Zach.
Of course, I'm an asshole.
Oh, right. I don't know. Doing this right after a holiday might not have been the best idea. We're all like back to work, and we're like 3-day hungover, and
right.
Well, like I saw earlier today. Tomorrow night, you guys are showing off some of what you've been working on. Let's talk about that a little bit.
So all of us have continued to work. I've been fortunate in not having to do as many, preventative maintenance cleanings. Don't go somewhere if we don't have to is basically what it's been. So I've had a lot of downtime at home, and in between doing online classes and different stuff like that, I've just had extra time to finally put down some ideas, and then I'll send ideas out to Zach and out to Quentin, and then I don't like this, or tweak this. Anyway, it's just been kind of an inspiring time, and it's different enough that we're all kind of excited about it, and just kind of want to share what we've been working on.
Yeah.
We haven't. We took the quarantining stuff pretty serious at the beginning. So, we weren't getting together. We basically had a 6-week break before we ever got back in here and played, instead of, getting together and trying to do live streams and stuff like that. And, but we weren't doing nothing. So,
yeah, Matt is really a guy that can't sit still for more than 5 minutes. He's got to be busy with something. So he's been busy crafting some pretty wicked tunes, and, we've been adding our 2 cents in here and there, kind of virtually sending things back and forth online, and really happy. I'm speaking for myself. I think I can speak for all of us, though, that we're really happy with the direction things are going. Feels like it's an evolution from where we came from in the self-titled album. I think we're taking it a step further.
Oh, absolutely.
I always feel like if a band is just redoing the same things over and over, then it's like, okay, I listened to that album. Why should I listen to the next album if it's just a rehash of the same stuff? So
we can certainly promise you this is not the same thing.
No,
it's not anywhere near it.
Yeah.
It's
well, maybe a little more progressive, a little more sludgy in some spaces.
I don't know. It's
more synthesizer stuff.
That is the big thing. That is the big thing. So we started, and I'd love to get your opinion on this. So we started incorporating tracks, actually before we even finished that album, and it was because of some of the songs on that album. And
I think that it's probably important to say the approach of that was like, oh, this would be like, this song is pretty much done, but it would be cool if we added some synthesizer here and there to it.
Right. Right.
Which I think these songs are kind of built from the ground up with that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is the difference.
Yeah, a lot of them. So, there's always, again, it goes back to opinions, but there are always, extreme opinions on either side where tracks and playing to a click and stuff like that is just horrible, and it just robs the feel of everything. We're basically a three-piece, so we've been a three-piece up until this point, and I think what's held me back creatively is the physical limitations, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't want tracks to play my guitar parts. I don't want tracks to play the bass parts. I don't want tracks to sing. I don't want tracks to.
We don't want to be lip syncing up there or anything crazy.
But there, don't want no Milli Vanilli, huh?
No.
But there are so many ideas.
I'm Manilli.
Right. There's so many ideas that I haven't been able to pursue because we've had that limitation of a live, free playing three-piece band. And I think the passion and the feeling and the stuff like that, if you're passionate and you have strong feelings for the music you're creating and playing, it doesn't matter if you're playing it to a click or if you're just freewheeling it. And that's my opinion. And I get it there. I've seen amazing bands that have no click whatsoever, and they're probably infinitely more tight than we are with a click. But, the click makes us tighter. The tracks add dimension that we can't do on our own, that we would feel
we can't do simultaneously while playing the other instruments. Like,
right.
We probably do it,
right?
One at a time.
And if we had a 9-piece band, then hey, let's all do it live, whatever.
Fuck it, do it live.
Right. Shout out to Quentin.
That's Quentin's favorite saying. Yeah.
But I don't know. How do you feel about tracks?
I mean, I don't mind it being a 3-piece band. Like if you wanted to have a rhythm guitar track behind a lead, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Or you want some piano synth behind it? Okay. You don't got to go out and find a piano player.
Right.
You can track it. I mean, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It helps add dimension. I mean, you're still the ones creating it. You're still the ones writing it. So
right. I think a lot of it has to do with the investment. Because you can do it all on a laptop, but hell, the laptop's an investment. I mean, it's an added cost. It just so happens that at this point, you've got a laptop, I've got a laptop, and then we discovered this tracks player, and we saved up from some gigs and we invested in it, and we basically invested in that new member to the band.
Right. Like it would be if we knew someone that wanted to play live keys with us. Yeah. I mean, I think that we'd all be like, yeah, let's do that. Yeah. But that person doesn't exist here, so it's like, we want that dimension to our music,
and then we'd have to work around that person's schedule too.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, in essence, it'd be like having what you guys are doing with tracks is like having a DJ with a Launchpad.
Right? Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean,
right. That's pretty much.
For,
exactly.
You can reach over, push a button, or you can have somebody else standing there headbanging, pushing the same button. I mean,
right. Yeah. Right. That is pretty true.
I don't know. It basically, I don't want it to sound like, because of the tracks, I'm able to do, sweep picking arpeggios and stuff like it, but it allowed me to take the gloves off creatively.
Right.
I mean,
I think and correct me if I'm wrong by saying this, but I think that when I'm writing, I feel I come at it more as like a composer rather than as a performer. You know, it's like I want to create the best piece of music that we can create, and it's like, all right, now how do we do this live?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And see,
so
that thought is always with me while I'm creating it. So it's probably a combination of the two.
And there's a fine line, because at some point it does feel like cheating, right? At some point there's a line there, and it's arbitrary.
Right.
It's like we draw that line for ourselves, and other bands will draw that line probably in a different place.
Right.
But it's kind of a weird gray area. I like to get a feel for where people stand on that.
And it's really only a gray area when it comes to live. I mean, what we're seeing right now with recorded music, where YouTube is like a completely new stage. Obviously, this stuff is some of it's live, but they're putting productions into their videos, into their music, and what we're seeing is an explosion of creativity. We just talked with Flosion, and we were talking about Poppy, and how it's this melding of pop and metal and hip hop beats, and it's basically, we've spent so many years categorizing music into all these little subgenres, and now people are grabbing these subgenres, sticking them in a cup, shaking it up, and throwing it out in Yahtzee, baby. You know what I mean? And that is exciting, because there's way too much music that I like to just pigeonhole ourselves to this, because the three of us can only do this live.
Right.
And
I think some of the songs on our album, self-titled album, were what we could do live, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And there's a whole lot of influences, especially I think that you have, from the like pop and synthwave kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That is non-existent in that.
Yeah.
Just because we couldn't reproduce it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think we're getting more to truly like what are our inspirations really that come into play by exploring this.
I think I want a combination of like, let's go with Sleep and Wage War and Depeche Mode.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That would be really happy place for me.
What you just said that Soupman was recording until things went haywire.
Right.
Yeah. But what was your approach to that? What were you using to record? Like what programs? What hardware?
We would run direct out from our amps, or mic up the bass amp. We'd run it into a Soundcraft Spirit Folio mixer, line out from that to a 002 interface straight into Pro Tools.
Right on. Okay. So, I had a 002. Yeah. Or no, I had the Digi 001. I
think it's still in the closet.
Yeah, with the SCSI connection. Yeah. Dude. I mean,
we did it. 002 just firewire connection.
Awesome.
And it's old gear, but it works. Dude. It works.
No, it's great.
So,
do you have the one with the faders, the motorized faders and stuff?
It's
the rack one?
It's the rack mount one. Yeah. And that's why we go into the mixer first and then line out. That way we can control on the mixer.
Okay.
So, plus just the preamps on that Soundcraft are phenomenal.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yes, that's awesome. All right. I was curious. And you're doing it in Pro Tools. I'm familiar. I'm pretty familiar with Pro Tools.
Yeah, either Pro Tools 10 or we'll just use, like me, I don't know Pro Tools, so when I'm doing stuff, I use Reaper recording.
Okay, that's what we've moved to, just because it seems like it's easily accessible for everybody, and it's like an open source deal, which totally support.
It reminds me of Fruity Loops from back in the day. That is exactly what it reminds me of.
An upscaled version, yeah. Man, Fruity Loops. I think I still have that on a CD somewhere.
I never did get into the Fruity Loops. I was like, fuck loops, I'm doing it live. I'm gonna play it. I was much more of a purist back in when I was getting my feet wet into multi-tracking.
Well, that, Fruity Loops led into Acid, and Acid is what I used because it was just me, and so it was really easy to work with loops.
Yeah.
And then, we tracked that last album with it and discovered a whole bunch of shortcomings to it, and was like, fuck this. We're switching to Reaper.
Yeah.
Oh. And I really like Reaper. It's been really easy to kind of figure out. I mean, and the great thing is if you don't know, just jump on YouTube and you will find that answer within like 30 seconds.
Like I've been using Reaper for the past 12 years.
Yeah.
Nice. That's what I recorded Slayground with back in the day. Nice. Because we had to get a rough track recording when we played the Slave to the Metal up in Kansas City.
Right.
So we had to send in and they had to pick us, yada, yada, yada. So
right on.
Don't you love that? Oh shit, we need to record something now.
Yeah.
I think we did it in like 2 nights.
Yeah.
Slapped it together and called it good.
It kind of seems like every band kind of has that story
somewhere along the line.
Like, oh shit. We need to throw some shit together.
The cool thing is it's so much easier to do now.
Yeah.
I mean, if it gets right down to it, it's like, dude, we don't even need to mic up your drums. Just program this shit real quick. And actually, with the demo stuff that we're going to share, it's literally just programmed.
Yeah, like I am not playing on it.
Yeah. I don't want to insinuate that
these are demos.
Yeah.
These are.
When there's a really weird change, that's because there's no drum fill there. That is not Zach's fault. That's all my fault. But and he's been real encouraging. I always try and walk a fine line when I'm writing something, because I don't want to take away from the creativity of anybody else. And he's been like, no, man, put your ideas down. If I hear something better, I'm going to do it. And I'm good. I want you to. But this is kind of what I hear in my head. And, you're the drummer, so I'm sure you can find something even fucking cooler. But, And so
I do the same thing. I mean, I come with the song and I pretty much got a skeleton structure of the rest of it. And I go,
it helps too.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Flesh it out for me.
Yeah. Because sometimes just playing to the click, you lose something. I mean, if it's just a click.
Oh, I got to have at least the drum machine.
Right. Yeah, especially when I start doing weird time stuff, and it is funny. Because it goes back to that thing Quentin was talking about. Have you seen the meme that said everything's 4/4 if you don't overthink it? Yeah. So, even when I'm recording off time stuff, a lot of times I'll just lay down a track that's just like, just so that I know where the kick and the snare, so that I can always, even when, the first time through it, the second time through it, it's backwards. So it's like, yeah,
right.
But
right.
You
I still have
that steady beat in there.
Yeah, instead of this. And like some of the stuff is like I'll there's one we probably won't share it because it's only about up to a first verse, but I sent it to Zach and he comes back and he goes, I really hate that fucking drum beat. And it's like what I say, it was like I counted out as 9/4, so it's like 4/4 or 5/4 and 4/4 back to back. And I'm like, dude, that's the best I could do. You have carte blanche.
But no, it's one of those things. It's like I see what you're going for, but I don't like it. But I love that we're open enough that we can do that. And there's times I do something and be like, don't do that. Do this other thing. Like that's
the famous
fucking
words
me
of
up.
the drummer. Don't do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes with Zach is like, okay, dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes I always come at things with a more is more philosophy. And sometimes I need to be told, like, dude, just chill out. You don't need to throw the kitchen sink at it. Like, just.
But it sounds cool.
Get in the pocket for this little bit. It's not going to kill you, So I need that. I need someone to pull me back sometimes.
And then we got Quentin. He's like the great moderator. He's he's not the most creative out of all of us. But he's like, no, man, it ain't there yet. No, there was a breakdown. It's like, I really don't like that. I'm like, well, what should I do different? And he's like, I don't know.
He's like, I don't know, but it needs to be better.
Sound right.
Yeah. And so like 5 iterations later, he's like, all right, that slaps.
Yeah.
But the good thing is even having that, it pushes me to make that part better.
Right. I think that's key.
And what's funny is, I thought that when it first started, I thought it was a pretty heavy little breakdown. Yeah, it's fucking huge heavy now. It was like, because it got to that point, it was like, motherfucker, all right, you want it fucking heavy.
Well, of course, the bass player spoke up.
Yep.
And it's good. It's good to have someone that's like, man, why are we doing this little thing? Like, does that need to be there? It's kind of like how you hear comedians speak about the economy of words. It's like, you don't want to be too wordy. You want to get to the point a little bit. Sometimes you're trying to do a thing and you're kind of working it to death. You just be like, dude,
don't drag it out so long.
We don't need to do this 8 times. Like,
right.
We got the point. Let's just do it. It's like, it'll be cool.
It's getting humid in here. His glasses are all fogging up.
No, I got allergies, man. My eyes bug out.
He got
Sorry.
the Rona.
No. He already got over that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was our second podcast. Like I had lost my voice. I was coughing. I was like sick for a month, dude. And I
watched that one.
I probably didn't have it, but man, it's like, it almost makes me think like, oh, maybe I had it, But everyone thinks that they've had it.
It's like back, what was it, last November or whatnot? We played with One Figure Discount up at Finnegans, and I was dead that night. I mean, literally leaning against my bass stack, just trying to make it through the damn show. Actually, I think you came to that show.
Finnegans. Where is Finnegans? In Parsons.
Yeah, Parsons. Yeah. I looked like I was the living dead.
I didn't think you looked that bad.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I felt.
But you felt like shit.
Oh God. I was drinking hot toddies that night.
I'm always after. I always take Fireball whenever I'm hoarse or got a sore throat or I'm losing my growl. It's like Fireball me.
Yeah.
It just numbs the pain enough to get through.
Does anybody else need another PBR?
Yeah, I'll take one.
All right, man. I got you guys.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, so is Finnegans gonna make it back?
It's done.
Yeah.
I think it's done. Last I heard, Ryan at one point, Ryan Mauersberger, the owner of the building, had thought about trying to reopen, but that was
before
8 months ago.
Yeah.
And it just never happened. I know the building's up for sale right now. So
right. I think it would be really cool if we got like a coalition of bands and just bought this huge fucking space and then went in and just, built rooms.
Yeah.
We all share the rent, our own little hippie commune.
Dude, there's a church here in town, right by the Sonic on Chestnut, that's up for sale for pretty damn cheap. And
it's been up for sale for a while, hasn't it? Yes.
I mean, I guess it needs a ton of work.
See, that's what I want to avoid.
No, I know. Me too. But it's like there's that part of me that goes like, oh, that would be so cool.
Actually, I think
huge church turned it into a jam.
I think a metal
studio.
Jam spot.
Right? Yeah, man.
I think I remember when it came up, probably early last year, or hell, it could have been the year before.
It's been a while.
Been a while. Brooke and I were like, oh, because my cousin Nathan, he has a church that he's turned into his house.
Uh-huh.
And which is super cool because it's all wide open, but then he has his music stuff up in the little steeple there, and but we looked at that, and it was like the deal breaker was that there was like 0 yard, and we have 5 dogs.
Right. Yeah, there's absolutely
you know,
nowhere.
If I didn't have any dogs, a 0 yard would be like
No
awesome.
mowing.
Right.
No mowing.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that would be cool. Honestly, just like a Quonset hut, big old Quonset hut building. You know, the half round.
Yeah. My grandpa used to have one.
Yeah, just big old farm building or something like that, and go in there and build a bunch of rooms, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, everybody kind of work their schedules, and you know, I mean, if you build a room decent enough, then it's not gonna matter. But I mean, then you guys, and then everybody could kind of look after each other's shit, and I don't know, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. That's the dream.
That's the dream.
That's like if I struck the lotto,
right?
you know,
Right.
This will happen.
yeah.
You know, it'd be funny though, because we'd end up being like a homeowners association. You know, with like the band council is like somebody's getting a new member is like, yeah, we need to do a background check on this.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
right. Yeah.
He's gonna be around a bunch of shit.
Well, you know, so and so just bought that new amp. That sucker's 250 watts. So, are we going to allow it in here?
It's like, do you know what the sonic differences between the EL34s and KT88s are, sir?
What?
Like,
Get the fuck out of here!
What is that? Get
I
out.
use 6L6s.
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking new metal poser! For the record, I love 6L6s.
Yeah. What? That not to be. Well, yeah, I'm going to go down that road.
Yeah, go.
I'm going to be a gearhead. Like, what kind of rig are you running right now? Well, for each project.
Okay, for each project.
Yeah.
For Soupman, I'm pretty stuck on the rig I've had for years. I got a old school PV Black Widow 18 with a 210 custom on top and all. I just run a 1978 PV standard bass head.
Oh, right on.
I mean,
okay.
I got my little pedal board with my wah pedal, my big muff, an overdrive, and then I actually got a Digitech BP or whatever little sucker. All I was doing
kind of a
was,
multi-effects deal.
I was looking for a damn tuner. Is all I was looking for. A tuner, you're going to pay $50 for a good tuner.
Right.
I found this multi-effects pedal with a tuner for $30.
There you go.
Why not?
Exactly.
So I run that for Soupman, and I'm happy with it. I mean, if I want a little more on preamps, I got a single 10 Ampeg that I can throw on top and DI out from it to the PV.
Right on.
Just to give me some more preamp work from the Ampeg, but I'm pretty happy. I'm not really even looking for getting a new rig.
I so wish I could be like that.
Now, guitar-wise, on the other hand, I've got 4 different rigs at the moment.
There we get to the truth.
Yeah.
We got 4 rigs
Speaking
on the
my
guitar.
language.
I got a PV Windsor half stack. Just got done retubing it with a brand new JJEL 34s and then a Groove Tube or AX7 or whatever the
12
Yeah.
AX7s.
the 12 AX7.
Yeah.
Just those for pre-tubes, and I mean I think it's a monster, but it's a single channel.
Right.
So
Right.
you got clean, well, kind of clean,
Right. Yeah.
and then you got distortion because the Windsor was PV's attempt at the Marshall JCM 800 clone.
Okay.
And actually, the motherboard, you go in, there's a real easy mod. You just clip a couple capacitors, and then it is an actual JCM 800 clone.
All right.
So, not that I haven't done that. And then
Those things are built like a tank, too.
oh yeah, I mean,
I always say, man, PV gear. Like, but do you remember? I don't know if you remember this, Zach, but I remember back in the day, people used to like really talk shit on PV stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
They, you know,
And then
but
you get like
goddamn
a
it.
deuce or something. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Or a
but
butcher.
they always. I mean, they're built like tanks.
Yeah, that thing's
Especially
like from the 70s.
I know. I've got a what do you call it? A
Bandit.
a
Yeah.
112 Bandit from back like that era,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe late 70s, early 80s era Bandit, you know. And god damn it, like
They don't die.
I didn't know what I had. That was like my first guitar amp.
Mhm.
I didn't know what I had. You know what I mean? I was like, this is just PV. This is stupid, you know? And then I've gone through so many things. I was like, man, I don't know if anything's ever sounded really as good as that Bandit sounded.
Well, and you know, they have the most unique distortion sound.
Mm-hmm.
They really do. And the first PV I had was the 212 stereo chorus, which I think was really cool. There's been a couple popped up that I was like, nostalgia.
Yeah. Is that the one that had 2 pre and solid state power?
No,
that one does.
That one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's actually solid state pre. 2
Oh, and
power.
2 power.
Yeah.
I had it backwards.
Which is,
okay.
well, which is weird. You know, most
Right.
things
My
are.
old PV
Right.
212
Yeah.
was that way. I had the chorus and
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
Yeah. But that's cool.
they're built like a tank. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's the graphics, you know, back in the 80s, you know, that people, I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
But people did
those
talk
old
shit
red
on 'em
stripes
a lot.
on them.
Yeah.
I always loved the look the red stripes had.
I don't know, but yeah, like the PA gear, it was untouchable, especially in the
Yeah.
80s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was everywhere.
Oh heck, my subs I use out at June Jamz.
Yeah.
They're old school SC 115s.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nice.
the big old scoops. I mean, they just
Yup.
launch it. I
Yeah.
run 1,000 watts to the pair of them, and
Yeah. There was
Kick ass.
like an office store in Iola. No, not Iola. Sorry, Chanute. That had closed down. Guy was using it as storage, and I'd drive past there after I'd do a call or something like that. And after a while, there's a whole bunch of like the SP15s and all kinds of that. And I'm like, dude. So finally, one day I stopped and called, and he's like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing something with it. I don't know. Give me your number, and if I ever decide. And then somebody ended up moving into the building and you know, open up a business, and I never heard back. But I was like, oh.
yeah.
Missed
that-
opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, now looking back at it, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't get that. 'Cause,
Oh, they break your back.
yeah.
No, I know.
Well, that I've always said about old school PV gear is if it craps out on you, you at least got a boat anchor.
That's 100% true.
I mean, but yeah, I got the PV Windsor. I don't like the cab too much. It just has the 12-inch PV Supremes in it.
Okay.
I'd much rather get, you know, like some Swamp Things or toss in
okay.
it.
And those are easy to swap. so.
Yeah.
It's
the,
just
the,
take
cab,
it-
the cab itself isn't even. I mean, it's like more of a particle board. It's not
Oh,
a
really?
good.
Right.
It's not a good cab to push with it. But when you get the whole thing for $200, I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
ain't gonna
Whoa,
bitch.
yeah.
So
No.
Absolutely. So what you said you had 4 different rigs. So
yeah,
what are the
I
other
got that
3?
one. Then right now I got on layaway. I got a Rocktron Veda.
I'm not familiar with the Veda, but I love Rocktron stuff.
It's a tube preamp, solid state power,
Okay.
and then it has a Celestian Vintage 30s in the straight front cab. So I mean, it
Nice.
sounds amazing. I just got to get it out of layaway now.
Right.
When I joined Shilohs, just for simplicity's sake, mainly because they practice in a basement and hauling gear upstairs sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought a Randall RG 1502, 212,
Okay.
150 watt, 3 channels, and the thing is just
I bet that
a
screams.
tonal monster.
That was my not that particular model, but my first half stack was Randall. I got that from Neota Shea.
I think I remember.
Music and Sound.
I think when we first jammed, I think you had that Randall. Did you
Might
not?
have.
I think you did.
Yeah.
I think you were playing a Strat through a Randall.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know any better then.
Well, no. I thought it was cool as shit, dude. I was like, whoa.
And then lastly, I just picked this one up. My very first true big amp, I used to own a Line 6 Flextone 2 head with the matching floorboard, and I ran across one on a Reverb not too long ago. Ended up getting the head unit, the pedal board, everything for $50. And it was more one of those nostalgia things. That's my first amp. I want it back. And then, of course, I get it, and I'm like, man, I forgot how good this thing sounded.
That's the thing. That's the thing. There's so much gear that we buy based on hype.
Right.
That you know, years go by, and because a lot of times, you know, we sell off what we have in order to get what we think we want, and then you go back, you know, years and years later, it's like, damn, why did I let that go? Yeah, or you get another one and you're like, holy shit,
why did I let that go in the first
place? I subscribe to Ola England. Have you ever?
Yeah.
I don't think I know that one.
He's a guitarist for the band Feared. He's Swedish, but Swedish metal band Feared, and I want to say it's the Haunted. There's a couple of his bands. Anyway, he does gear reviews a lot of times, and he's funny. I mean, he's Swedish. He's
kind of dry.
Well, I mean,
humor in a way.
It's funny in translation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's been doing this thing where he's been revisiting old gear and seeing if it still holds up. And so, like, he got the original pod being, you know.
Oh yeah.
And so he played through it, and he's like, yeah, this is pretty good. And then he you know, turned off the cab on the pod and ran into some of his own IRs. You know, so you're talking modern IRs, and they sound amazing.
Wow.
I mean, and during some of these different, because he did like the Behringer V amp.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, Chad just got rid of one.
same thing, man. I think what really has evolved are the cab impulses.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you switch cabs,
yeah, back in those days, it was just an EQ curve, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we're finding that a lot of that old gear sounds really good with modern impulses. You know, which is cool because I had the Pod 1.0, and it was like a month after I got that they announced the 2.0. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? But at that time, Line 6 sold the chip, literal ROM chip. And so you could buy that upgrade for $50, crack that open, pull out the old chip, pop the new chip in, and you had a Pod 2.0. You had to do things a little bit differently because it wasn't labeled like the new one. But you know, after a month of the old one, got the new one, it was like, oh, you know. And it really just had additional models and stuff like that. But the way stuff is now, you know, we've talked about the Helix, the Line 6 Helix. They have basically the software version. So everything that I recorded actually is just the software version. I didn't run it through the Helix. I just ran it through the Helix software. And there are a lot of people out there now that are starting to get low latency interfaces, and they're literally running their shit through the laptop. There's no amp, no pedal board. You know, you run it through that, and then you program all your changes via MIDI.
Yeah.
So it does all the switching for you, and it's just all right there. And it's crazy.
Yeah. It's a new
we've toyed with
new world.
We toyed with the idea of having like a backup rig. Because, you know, I have the hardware Helix, we have the hardware tracks and stuff like that. But even with bass, we could totally build an entire backup rig on a laptop that played our tracks, handled all his bass tones, did all my guitar tones, vocal effects. And, you know, we take this and run everything into it, goes into the laptop and then back out. The biggest thing, the biggest hurdle right now is latency.
Right. That'd be the major issue.
And it all depends on the interface. And of course, you know, you're in the middle of a gig and Windows decides it wants to do a fucking update, you know, you never know.
Or one beer.
Right. Yeah.
One beer.
Yeah. One beer. Yeah. Your whole.
But I think that would be really cool to set up as a backup rig.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, like pull out the laptop and this rack is like, shit, this stuff ain't working, so we're good to go.
Here we go.
Or sit there and use that one, just see what people say, but have your actual rigs behind you as the backup rig.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It looked cool as fuck.
It'd be fun to experiment with because that then opens up a whole world of plugins. Like
yeah, no kidding.
Like that Rex Brown bass plug-in that I got.
Yeah.
You know, Quentin could actually play live through that,
Mm-hmm.
which would be kind of cool. But it's taking the time to set it up. You know. We do actually run MIDI out of our Live Tracks player, and it does all the helix switching for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is great because, you know, singing and playing.
And then tap dancing.
And
on
tap
a bunch of
dancing.
buttons.
I know how that goes.
Oh my God. Now, we don't have all our songs, but the current songs that we run tracks on, I put the MIDI switching on it, and it's amazing. Dude, I just
Now, will you be using that in June Jamz?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I just have to play.
Sweet.
I just have to play and sing.
And for me, it's
Until
just
it fucks
like a
up
single
on us.
chord to plug in, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
my life easy.
I need to go in and program my vocals to
Right.
do the same thing.
Right.
'cause, Yeah.
You know,
I need to get off my butt and do that.
Did you see where on Instagram XVive shared our post?
I saw that. Yeah, I think you shared that in Messenger, and I
Yeah.
just saw that as I was walking in today.
So we got a bunch of these XVive wireless transmitters.
Mhm.
The original design is for like your mic.
Yeah.
But they can send mic or line level. So like we've seen different videos where people were sending the outs from their mixer wirelessly to the amp rack, to the
Alright.
cabs and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I've seen people use
Yeah.
those with lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were looking at the guitar, the bass, and sending it wirelessly over to the splitter because, like we were talking about
yeah,
earlier,
you were telling me
cutting the
on
cord.
Quentin's rig, yeah.
yeah, cutting all the cords
Cables
that we could.
suck.
Exactly. And I had a lot of technical issues this past Saturday. And in retrospect, I'm not sure that those were the problem. But I was so frustrated and just bought all of them. I'm like, I'm fucking sending them back, you know?
Mhm.
And I haven't sent them back yet. So I'm still on the fence. I got like 45 days. But I think I had a point.
Now, I'm curious about those. Are you required to have like your own network for those to hook up to, or
Not
do they
those.
just
No.
hook up like a wireless pack from your
Just
guitar
like a
to your-
wireless pack.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
The catch with them is they run on a 2.4 gigahertz spectrum, which is like your cell phones and most wireless routers and different stuff like that. So you can run into issues of interference if you have too many things going around. And again, I don't know if that was what our problem was Saturday, because I don't think anybody else had any problems. I don't think Quentin was
Right.
dropping out.
I think it was just your guitar.
And it may not have been
Yeah.
wirelessly dropping out. It may have
Right.
been between the cab. I don't.
Just interference.
Well, I mean, it could have just been bad cable, bad output jack, bad input jack on the speaker.
Yeah. Need to troubleshoot it a little
Yeah,
better.
I mean, there were way too many variables, and I was just getting way too pissed off about it. So, but anyway, I was trying to go somewhere with this. Back it up. Playback.
Oh.
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Wireless is great when it all works. When it all works, it's so
Right.
great. Yeah.
But when it doesn't work,
Yeah.
it's
Then you're
hell.
ripping your hair out.
Well, but I mean, you got to treat it the same way as like if you had a cable there.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yes.
You got 50 cables running and something's not working. You're trying to find that one cable.
Right.
I've done that at many shows.
It
running
is so
sound.
frustrating.
That's another one. Everyone has a story of that time or hunting
Yeah.
down that bad cable. What was it last? Our summer bash. I forget what we call that.
Oh, the end of summer bash.
The end of summer bash. Yeah, that was it. The end of summer bash. Shoot, we just had the PA kind of coming in and out and in and out. We couldn't figure out what the heck was going on, and we had wireless kind of going on there too. And we were like, "Oh, is a wireless going out?" And finally, we're like jiggling cables, going under the stage like with flashlights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They're done
and it's
that.
like, you jiggled that one, that purple one, you jiggled it. It works now.
Jiggle it again.
Like
Make
stabilize
sure.
it. Make sure it stays right there.
Pull out the duct tape.
Right. Right. And like you said, everybody has that story.
Yeah.
The thing gets me is when you run into different sound guys, and they've had that same story.
Sure.
But if you're the cause of it, Jesus Christ. Some of the ones that I've run into are just douchebags.
There's no need to be that guy.
No, I know.
I mean, we're not asking, if we run into a problem, we're not going to ask for more time. If it's our problem, it's our problem.
Mm-hmm.
But, you don't need to be a douche about it.
Or you get those bands that, as you're trying to set up, they're not allowing you the proper time to set up.
Yeah, there's
you got one chord mixed up, and they're pushing you. No, just go, and then they get pissed off because they sounded shitty because they didn't let you double check all your cables.
We don't need a sound check. We don't need a sound. Just go, and then you go,
and then they're like,
pissed I can't hear anything on my monitors.
Right?
Why? You're a shitty sound guy. It's like, well,
so that's where in-ears come in handy, and that was kind of what got us started on this tracks ride.
Yeah,
because we have to have a click if we're going to run tracks, and so then we did it for a bit where Zach was the only one that could hear it, and we'd cue off of him, which worked.
That was really stressful for me. I don't like that. Zach Lum, who we've had in here, who plays with Flosion, and Tracing the Time Travelers, they do that way, and he is super good about that. He's just he's a human metronome himself, so it works for them, but it was a lot of pressure for me, and I wasn't handling it really well, I don't think.
But we got through it. But as soon as we all got that click, it made a big difference. It was pretty wild. Quentin and I, we went pretty cheap on our in-ears. I mean, because you can spend thousands of dollars on that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So I looked and found something affordable that wasn't 2.4 gigahertz. It was in the UHF range, which won't run into as much problems. But it's like summed mono. So if we run stereo to it, it just takes left and right, puts them together as a mono signal, and sends it out. So it isn't the best sound in your ears. It's not the headphones, because we've listened. Hell, I've done dry mixes, with those headphones. Those headphones sound really good. It's just something in that mono conversion, or it just because it's cheap, but it does get the job done. And I think both of us have adapted to it a little bit better. Quentin was the one that complained about it the worst. Mm-hmm. He fucking hated it. I granted the first practice we got done, and I looked at Zach. I said, I fucking hate this.
Yeah. I think I was probably one more than anybody pushing that. I mean, I love
the idea.
Yeah, it just seemed like I could never hear what I wanted to hear when someone else was running the sound. And it takes so much time to explain between you and the sound guy what you need to hear.
Yeah.
And then if it's not right from the start, you feel like such a prima donna by asking to adjust while you're already into your set. And I was like, wow, I just want to control this myself, And even now it's not perfect because I don't have my drums for them. I've got one mic kind of sitting behind me going into my ears, but I really would like to have more kick drum. It's not perfect.
You guys going to be running your in-ears at June Jamz, or are you just going to run off the floor monitors?
No, we'll run the in-ears.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I might ask for a little kick drum.
Well, I
mean, but that's probably it.
We'll set there. You'll be mic'd up, kick drum, snare, and 2 overheads. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what we do most of the time.
Yep.
And like I said, we'll run into the splitter and back out to the snake. And so you know, all you'll have to worry about is the front of house.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll take care of it.
I like to ask all the bands, what are you guys bringing? That way, I got to do my homework.
All right.
Beforehand to find out what's going on.
And we appreciate that because there's a lot of people that don't.
If you want a stage plot, or something, I can get you one.
Right on. Oh heck, I'll do that too.
Right.
I mean, lights wise, just because I'm running sound, they just go on auto.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. I don't try to do anything with that.
No.
But
eventually we'll have.
God damn it! I want sharks with freaking laser beams.
Yeah, I'm starting to work on a programmed light show too.
I mean, honestly,
But we ain't
I got
getting
the
there yet.
program on my computer. I've even got the USB to DMX capability from the computer
Right,
to it.
You only got two
But
hands.
yeah, I mean, you know, for Soupman, I could program light shows and stuff and just
Exactly.
hit go. But
Right.
Yeah.
when it comes to other bands,
Yeah.
like, and honestly, like when I have ran lights for people, I'll sit there, I'll listen to their music ahead of time. That way, I can get a feel for
Yeah.
drop it down here, bring it up here.
Yeah.
I
Awesome,
mean,
man.
Here's
It's all homework.
a story that's maybe a little bit of a tangent, but I think it's hilarious. Have you ever worked with anyone that's tried to do pyrotechnics?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
I guarantee you, he's worked with the same guy.
Oh,
Larry the Light Guy.
Yes!
Larry the Light Guy.
Shout out to Larry the Light Guy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
We just-
out there at the Soul Grounds. He used
Yes.
to run our pyros for us all the time because
Yes.
I was in Split Soul.
Yeah.
I mean, we're the ones that was on Durflinger's land out there.
we just clipped the shit out of the audio screaming
man.
Larry the Light Guy. That was awesome.
That's all right. Just pick one mic that works.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I'll fix it.
Oh, shit.
But
I
yeah,
still run into him.
Yeah, he used to work at Walmart. Does he still work at Walmart?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I work at Taco Bell too.
Yeah.
He comes in every weekend.
I haven't seen him in years, but I love that guy to death. I love
The
him.
last name is what? Modisette? Something like that.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why that stuck. That always stuck. It was.
Yeah.
It's probably wrong.
Yeah,
But-
like I don't even
But-
know, dude. He's just Larry the Light Guy.
Right. Right.
Just-
I legit still call him that when I see him. I'm like, Larry the Light Guy. And he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
all right, it's stuck.
Yeah,
He's just
yes.
kind of like, eh.
Got
He's
two,
probably sick of hearing it.
got two coffee cans on either side of the stage, loaded with gunpowder, and
Oh.
one goes off.
Yeah. He had once, like we were playing just like basically a house party, and I think the house has now been condemned or tore down, but it was this really cool like plantation style house out in the country by Elk City Lake, and we called it the Cat House because apparently back in the day it was a whorehouse. And a couple of friends of mine were living in it, you know, and they had everyone out there. So we're like out on this big ass porch. And he's like, all right, what's this in this song? What is like a point I need to listen? What's a cue that I can listen to set this off? You know, so I kind of explain it to him. And he's like, okay, we come to that point in the song, nothing happens. Like, okay, that's cool. It didn't go off. I'm just fine. And then just out of nowhere, I'm standing right on top of the fucking thing, and it's like, boom, and it scared me to death. I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't catch on fire, but so it scared the poop out of me though. Puckered my
Good.
butthole for sure.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah. That same show, that was way back early days of I was in a band called Blood Red Moon. That was mostly music that I had written and stuff. My singer was a cat named Bruce Shields from here in Independence, now lives in Colorado. One of the coolest guys ever. But he had decided he wore nothing but boxers and painted himself head to toe silver. He had shaved off every single body hair. From eyebrows, head, he was completely hairless and covered himself from head to toe in silver paint.
Are we talking like Steve Vai Bad Horsey Silver?
Yeah, like he was like Silver Surfer, looking like completely bald, silver from head to toe, naked except for some boxer shorts that were also silver. It was amazing.
And this was Larry.
No.
Okay.
It was a show where Larry was
Okay.
doing
like,
some
whoa.
pyro for us.
So I went to the bathroom at the wrong time.
No.
You know, it was funny. I don't know if he ever did this for you guys, but like the times that he would come and run lights for us, he would actually come to the practice before
Oh, that's cool.
and try it out. Yeah.
Yep. He's done that a time or two out there at Soul Grounds.
Everything worked perfect at the practices.
And at the show, not so much.
Not so much. It was great.
So it's just like the music.
Right. Absolutely. No, he was
No,
great.
I appreciate that guy so much, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't seen him in years, but Larry, if you're out there, I hope you're freaking killing life, dude.
Give
I
us a
hope that you're
shout,
awesome.
man.
Yeah.
We
God
need to bring him out to like one of the June Jamz
Yeah.
and see if he'll do some pyros for it. That would be awesome.
That would be so amazing.
There you go. There's your homework, man. If he comes in
honestly,
the next week.
I'd be like, hey man, you still got your pyrotechnic stuff?
that'd be great.
If not, I got some coffee cans.
Right?
No, you can't have them. I saw you were looking for
Right.
some.
I got some. I got some big ass pork and beans cans.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So that's a project. Pork and beans cans. Crickets.
Pork and beans. Pork and beans.
Were they van camps?
I don't know. The labels were already removed.
Oh, okay.
Somebody did the grunt work for me. They were awesome. Actually, shout out to Dudley's Barbecue because that's where they came from.
Oh.
And we know those beans get put to good use.
Oh, God.
That's who we need to hit up for a sponsor, man.
Yeah, dude, if you're ever in Iola, Kansas,
Yes.
Dudley's Done Right Barbecue
Yes.
is the shit.
He doesn't even have to give us money, man. It's just like hook us up with some food.
Yeah, right?
Give us a
I've
coupon
done
code.
I've done many shows for just food.
Oh, food and beer.
Yep. Lurch's Bar and Grill.
Yep.
All you can drink beer all night long. They regretted it some nights.
Yeah. Some people know how to take care of that. I'm not saying I do. It's like free beer. Oh, we got some Natty Light. Well, I don't
Okay.
care. You said free.
Yeah, right, yeah. I'm not picky.
Keep it coming.
Schlitz. Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Some friends of mine and I, one night, we decided to have a 40 night.
Yeah.
We all got like 40s, like Schlitz malt liquor.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. That stuff starts getting warm. It's hard. It's hard to.
You don't waste time, man.
I know.
Old
English.
English,
Yeah.
high
No,
gravity.
actually, no, I'm sorry. That's what it was.
Put her there, man.
It was Old English.
Old
That's what I
English.
had was Old English,
Yes. What were some of the other
yeah.
ones?
We.
I loved Old English. Colt 45.
Yeah.
Shit, that was
Just-
good.
Yeah.
That was good. Mickey's. Man, I used to drink a shit ton of Mickey's. Of
I
course,
I never liked
of
Mickey's.
course, they were only about that big,
right.
you know?
Yeah.
The one that I never liked that everybody did was the Little Kings, man. I never liked Little Kings.
Yeah. I think I maybe tried that once.
Yeah.
That was enough.
I don't
for
know.
me.
I might have to revisit that just because.
Yeah.
We'll have to have a malt liquor podcast.
Yeah, we'll have to do like an old
malt
school
liquor
night.
podcast. We're going to have podcast.
Get off 40s.
PBR, if you're listening.
40s and shodies.
We can probably get to 40s. That's about it.
Yeah.
40s, and it's a Miller High Life. Miller
Yeah.
High Life to go
Champagne
with.
beers.
Dude, I drank the shit out of some High Life back in the day.
The only thing I never drank was Coors Light.
Oh.
I
I have when it's free.
Yeah.
Even then, I can't.
You know, I think my thing like that is the straight up Millers, not the High Life, but just a straight like a Miller Lite.
Yeah.
That has a funky flavor to me, and
I can get through it.
I
but-
don't like it.
Yeah.
It weirds me out.
Personally, I'm a Budweiser man.
Yeah.
That's what I drink.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. And
I like the Bud Heavies though. I like
Yeah, not Bud Light.
Yeah.
Budweiser.
I don't.
Right,
I like
same.
Bud Light.
I'll drink Natty Light before I'll drink Bud Light.
See, I like Bud Light in a bottle, but Bud Light in a can is a completely different animal, and I don't know why.
You
Yeah.
get that aluminum taste to it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't get much difference between like PBR in a can or a bottle. But for some reason, Bud Light, there's a line drawn in the sand, and that shit ain't right.
Yeah.
So out of a can, I'll pass. But yeah, Coors Light, and part of it is my dad drank Coors Light, and I don't know. He used to drink regular Coors, and I still like regular Coors.
Mm-hmm.
But he went to Coors Light for a long, long time, and then he's on like Miller Lite now. He likes Miller Lite, which is okay. But Coors Light, man, I just never could get it.
I don't know. It doesn't taste like much to me.
Right.
It's just, it's something that you drink if you want to get drunk. Like it's not any light beer. Any light beer to me is just something that it's like you're just trying to get drunk. You're not trying to enjoy the beer because it's just slightly flavored water.
I mean, even heavier beers, I'm not drinking it to enjoy the flavor.
Oh, see, I
like beer. I like Budweiser.
I can get not maybe necessarily snobbish about it, but I really like craft beers and like browns and ambers, especially like things that are more malty rather than hoppy. Like I really like that stuff.
I don't know. It's crazy. You can hit some heavy beers that are really good, and maybe I should just pay attention to what's in it. But
yeah,
some are really good, and then some are like, no, hell no.
Oh yeah, well I think that's just with everything. Yeah. There's some I like, some you don't.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with mixing it up, especially when you can't get a sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for your everyday drinking enjoyment,
you're right. I still think
try a Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Blue Ribbon Special, baby. Oh,
fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yes.
Some blue velvet up in here, man.
Right.
I haven't seen that in so long. You know what we need to talk about, Matt?
David Lynch?
Well, yeah, I'm cool with talking about that anytime, but I was going to say Turbo Kid.
Oh, yeah, so you watched it too?
I watched Turbo Kid. It's so amazing.
Good.
I've been like proselytizing the amazingness of Turbo Kid.
It is pure 80s cheesy gold, but it takes itself serious
it's funny
in an honest way.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, but it's
so campy and like purposefully like kind of retro, but yet like.
But it takes the story seriously.
Yeah, it does. It's like the acting is not like lame and breaking the fourth wall or anything.
No, and you would think that even with good acting that I don't. It's just if you haven't seen Turbo Kid, it's on Amazon Prime and check it out.
You will not be disappointed.
No, and if you are, then don't ever listen to any of our movie recommendations again. Right? Seriously,
yeah.
Because
especially if you grew up in the '80s, like we did,
And the whole opening scene, man, is like BMX Bandits, dude.
Yeah. Or like Rad.
Like
you remember Rad?
Yes. There's like this music montage as he's kicking wheelies, I mean, it wasn't like fancy BMX backflips or anything. It was just like going over a hill. It was like
it was like if I just grabbed a bike and just went over a dirt ramp. It was like, I did it. I landed safely.
But it was so good. I can't get it. So after that, there was another movie. So I kind of went down the Amazon Prime rabbit hole after that.
Cool.
Oh, what was it called? James Franco directed it, and it's got horrible ratings, but it really wasn't that bad. It wasn't that great, but it's got a really good cast in it. Damn it.
I've got a James Franco rant.
Go for it.
I think that he's a super overrated actor. I think he's probably a hell of a guy. I mean, he's probably a super nice guy. I've got nothing against James Franco, but he is not a fucking good actor. He looks kind of stupid, and people think he's amazing. I don't know why. So that's my rant.
No, and that's fair to say. I think James Franco plays James Franco every time.
Yeah.
He's
got that goofy, squinty smile, and it's like that's what he does. That's all he does.
There are several movies I enjoy. The sillier ones are usually the better ones.
Yeah.
But did you ever watch 127 Hours?
I want to say yes.
That's the one where the kid's out in the Arizona or Utah. Anyway, he's going through the canyons. Anyway, he falls down a crevice and his arm gets stuck.
No, I haven't seen that one.
David Fincher. Yeah, I think he directed
I love
it.
David Fincher too.
Right.
I mean,
he's really good in that. He's still James Franco.
Right. He's like, if James Franco fell in this
and got stuck,
Yeah.
and eventually had to cut his own arm off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
That
I'm gonna
was
go
based
back
on a
on-
true story.
yeah.
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 I remember
I think
when
his
that
name
story
was
hit.
Aaron something. I can't remember, but
Aaron lost a limb.
yeah,
Um,
indeed. But it's good, and it's
cool.
worth a watch.
I should probably watch that.
It feels very much like The Beach. Did you ever watch that with Leo? That was
God, I'm slipping on my movie watching, I guess. I don't think I've seen that one.
no, maybe it wasn't David Fincher. I think it was the same guy that did The Beach, and I don't think that was. Keep talking. I gotta find this.
I don't know. I'm gonna go back on my criticism of James Franco and just say that I think it's super cool that while he is like a pretty big name actor and pretty successful, he put himself through, I want to say it was Harvard, even while doing, totally successful, does not need to go to school for any reason, like could live the rest of his life perfectly comfortable. He decided to go get a degree at like a super demanding university just because he thought it was cool.
Well, I think he's an
cool.
intelligent guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And obviously he's
Like
made some good business decisions.
Right. Like
career decisions.
He's probably a hell of a guy. Like I'm not trying to talk trash on him personally. Just
I picture the real James Franco as the James Franco in Pineapple Express.
yeah.
Yep. And that movie was funny as shit.
True. Truth.
Danny Boyle. Okay. So I'm pretty sure it was Danny Boyle. He did 28 Days Later.
Yeah. Okay.
Sunshine. Did The Beach. Let's see. And he did 127 Hours. Okay, so I was wrong. It was not David Fincher. It's Danny Boyle. And all of those movies are excellent.
Yeah.
And did you say you haven't seen The Beach?
I don't think I've seen The Beach.
You need to see The Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might be one of those that I've just forgot because I've got a shitty memory, and I'll go back and watch the first 5 minutes, and be like, "Oh yeah, it's this movie."
Now the Beach, The Beach came out, I think, before 28 Days Later.
Okay.
And like I say, it's got Leo in it. It's got Tilda Swinton.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
She is, and she's actually fairly normal in this one. A normal woman in this one. Robert Carlyle was Begbie in Trainspotting.
Oh, okay.
The violent, ultra violent guy.
Yeah.
He's in Once Upon a Time. Plays Rumpelstiltskin. Anyway, that British guy. He's in it. He's awesome. And basically they go and Leo's on, I don't know, just some sabbatical, touring Asia, and he runs into a French couple, and they track down this rumored island, mystery island, right? So the small community that lives on this island is on this like perfect beach, but the rest of the island is like a marijuana plantation. I mean, they've got literal, guys with machine guns out there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they almost got killed getting into this place, and it is supposed to be a complete secret. And so, obviously the secret got out to get them there. And so, but it gets kind of Lord of the Flies, and
okay.
And then you add in drug dealers, and yeah, it's a good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And hilarity ensues.
Yes. No, it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Anything on your radar, movie, art, music wise, that you're excited about right now, Zach?
Not really. I don't watch much TV or movies. I mean, most of my time is consisted of either spending in the garage on my guitar or just getting my kids out fishing, camping.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that's amazing. That's really great.
Trying to keep them from being in front of a screen is my daily life struggle.
I am 100% with you. Like I've got a 14-year-old that I can't pry away from her phone, at all. But then I have a
Mhm.
2-year-old, and we've decided from the get-go that her screen time is going to be very strictly limited. And
Fascist.
so, yeah, it's
Yeah.
an authoritarian dictatorship, 100% in my house, That said, we have kind of bent on that. There's and this hilarious name for a show. I don't think it's supposed to be hilarious, but it's a kid's cartoon named Puffin Rock. But it sounds like you're puffing rocks.
Yeah.
But it's like the birds puffins,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a little island, and there's these little
I'm like, you showing her
puffin
New Jack
birds
City
and-
or what?
Yeah, no. But so we let her watch that show every once in a while.
I remember that one when my kids were
Yeah.
tinier, my 6-year-old in particular.
It's like, what are you doing? I'm just puffing rock.
Oh, man.
But
The amount of adult humor in kids shows that you never realize until
I
you become an
know.
adult.
Well, it's
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
such subtle innuendos that they they purposely put
Oh,
it
yeah.
in there. Let's see what we can slip under the radar.
Mhm. Like there's
Yep.
still things I laugh about The Amazing World of Gumball.
I hate that show.
Really?
Oh God, I hate
Oh,
that
I think
show.
it's hilarious.
I don't
I
know
think
that
it's pretty
show.
funny.
I don't like my kids watching that show.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, again, my older daughter watched that, and like I'd be watching, I'd be like, God damn, I don't think that they're like being funny for her. I think they're being funny for me. You know? Like, what's another one like that, man? I didn't really like Adventure Time, but every once in a while I'd see something like that, and it would crack me up.
Yeah.
Like they'd grab their butts and be like, "Oh, my hams, my hams."
Saw a meme the other day. I can't remember how it goes, but basically it was somebody was referring to a fart as ass hams. I was like, what? Ass ham.
I don't know why it made me think of you talk about farts and stuff. Made me think of the ultimate band name.
Oh, lay it on us.
Cerebral flatulence.
Yeah.
Brain fart.
Hell yeah.
Flatulence.
That's a prog band.
Yeah, that should have been the name of this podcast, honestly. It'd been way more apropos. Apropos. Oh, goodness.
Cerebral flatulence. Tune in now.
I've been watching, and I'm almost done with the 4th season of The Expanse.
Yeah,
And
you were talking about
yeah,
that.
dude, I like it. I
That's
like
good.
it a lot. It's worth checking out. If you like sci-fi kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
It's
Finding the time.
kind of, it almost seems like a gritty Star Trek, but pre Star Trek, like leading up to a Star Trek civilization.
Before Starfleet.
Yeah. Before Starfleet, before the Federation of Planets and all that stuff. It's like humanity just getting off Earth and like starting to explore our own solar system. Like they haven't found a way to get out of our solar system yet, but still colonizing Mars, colonizing the asteroid belt, and then building nations, and then those nations like having disputes and tensions, and then crazy shit happens that I won't give away the plot of, of what happens to throw a monkey wrench in the whole thing, but it's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I still need to. They just put Avatar: The Last Airbender back on Netflix, and I need to start it and watch it again.
Dude, it's so good.
It's one of my favorite cartoons. That's
Yeah.
non-Star Wars.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
The movie was lacking, but
Oh, yeah.
the
two
movie
Sega
movie
movies.
was very lacking.
Yeah,
I even rewatched the movie about a couple weeks ago.
I've watched it.
Just to, was it as bad as I thought it was?
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it's not a terrible movie, and if you went into it not having any Avatar background, it'd be all right.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when it's on and there's nothing else on, I'll watch it, and that's okay. I know this is better.
yeah.
And the fact that it's back on, I can't wait to jump back into it.
Yeah. Every time someone brings up the Avatar movie, I have to say, one, I'm not down on M. Night Shyamalan. Like, I do like a lot of his movies.
I like most of them.
Yeah. I didn't like The Happening very much. That was the one I was kind of down on.
I like the idea. Honestly, what killed it for me was that was probably the worst acting I've ever seen Mark Wahlberg do. And you know, you have to blame a lot of that on the director because that's apparently what he wanted.
Right.
But he said, "Oh my God, and it's so much. Why?"
Yeah.
Okay, no.
I like Zooey Deschanel, but all it was just like her eyes really like, but
no, I agree. That was probably the weakest.
Yeah,
that he's done.
That's the weakest one.
Yeah,
but I like M. Night Shyamalan. I did not like. I was upset. Not upset. I was disappointed in Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie. There were a few things in that movie that I think were great that I think other movies should adopt. And I always say this, that I loved how in the cartoon, like the Fire Nation was a homogenous, like, race of people. The Air Nation was a homogenous race of people, and they cast those people like they cast that movie like all the Fire Nation was people of Indian descent, like from India, you know, and like I don't remember all like the Water Nations, like Inuit kind of people, you know, but they were like distinctly different, like ethnicities representing each nation, and that feels proper because they all have their own culture. They're all from a different region, but it's not like it's not a racist thing. It's like you're representing a lot of different types of people. It's just that you're representing them in homogenous groups, you know, because that's the way the story works.
Right.
It's so like it was inclusive, but it wasn't too woke for itself. You know,
right.
I wish that a lot of movies, maybe I'm getting into dangerous territory, but I don't know. I really appreciated that about that movie because it made it feel real. You know, it's like all these people are stuck on this island. Well, you're not going to have, you know, red and yellow and white and black and people like all. It's like how would you if they're all from this one geographical location? You know, they'd all be homogenous. So
I could see that from the Fire Nation because they didn't really.
Right. Like I could see the air nomads, that would be perfectly plausible for them to be.
And the water benders and the earth benders, all of them, you know.
The earth benders, I could see that too. The water benders are they're pretty like up north.
Pretty remote.
Pretty remote.
Yeah.
But I like that fact. Like, I don't know. That's me on my soapbox being like.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for social justice. I'm all for it, but it's like, don't go so woke that you're like not doing justice to the story and being, you know, breaking the plausibility of how this all actually would take place in real life.
But aside from that, going towards like alien species and stuff like that. So let's take Captain Marvel for instance. You got the Skrulls in there. Mm-hmm. Have you ever noticed that Hollywood cannot differentiate different alien race? So, you know, if the Skrulls as a race were like humans, they'd be way more varied in look. You know what I mean? Maybe it's because they're advanced and, you know, they advance past the point of being different. But, you know, all alien movies are like that.
Oh, yeah.
Aliens always share the same look.
Right.
Yeah, it may be a different person under that mask, but
they're all humanoid looking.
Well, but I mean,
it's like, well,
you don't have a Chinese Skrull. You don't have, you know, a Caucasian Skrull. You don't have a Mexican Skrull. You know,
right?
And I'm sure a lot of that just has to do with being simple. Yeah, they put
they put
the different ethnicities under the makeup.
Right.
But still, come on. I mean,
yeah.
Unless,
like you're saying, if they're so advanced, it's like they've all their different populations have intermingled so much that they're just all
one race,
all one. Yeah.
I don't know. It's food for thought, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what advanced civilizations are.
Yeah. Like in another 1,000 years, we'll probably all be like kind of a beige color.
Yeah.
You know, maybe.
Could be.
Yeah.
There are definitely benefits to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't say, yeah, that's a whole other.
I know. We're going down like a wormhole here.
That's
It's like,
a big rabbit hole.
you know,
Let's not fall down
just,
that.
I'll just end
say
it
that's
on
not
this.
a
It's
bad
like,
thing.
genetic diversity, you know, people getting together that have different genetics that are genetically dissimilar is going to create the stronger, more adaptable offspring. That's like biology, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
More power to them.
that's my final word on that subject.
We are definitely pro diversity.
Yeah. Just listen to our music.
Right? It's about to get real diverse.
Yeah. Are you guys in both bands that you're a part of? Are you guys doing mostly original music? Or are you doing covers? You doing a blending of the two? What's your approach to that stuff?
Soupman is we try to be mostly originals. I mean, we have a stock array of filler covers just to flesh out if we need longer or whatnot.
Including an amazing Beastie Boys cover.
Yes, I remember that from
Yes.
last June Jamz.
Yes. It
And
was so
then,
good.
Everyone was on their feet,
Hell
singing
yeah.
along.
Well, who doesn't like Beastie Boys? I mean,
If
a lot,
they
a
don't,
lot
they're
of people,
wrong.
a lot of people don't like Beastie Boys.
Well, they're wrong.
A lot of cunts.
they're very wrong. And then Shilohs, as of right now, we're majority just cover music. Now, the other guitarist, Brett, and Terry, we've been starting to dabble, per se, a little bit in the idea of writing our own. I know Brett's really gung-ho about it. Every band I've always been in, we've always done original stuff. But here, our biggest thing, because, I mean, the new lineup happened literally right before COVID-19 hit, so we're just scrambling right now to learn as much of the old set that they had to be able to gig with and move forward with.
Right.
So,
Right.
but I mean, it goes from light rock, hard rock, metal. I mean, it's all over the
Oh
place.
yeah, you got Jefferson Airplane and you got Bon Jovi. And,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you got stuff that other cover bands aren't playing.
Well, see,
And that's what's
that's
cool.
one thing we've been trying to look for is, you know, like one we're working on right now, Black Sabbath, Fairies Wear Boots. Never heard another band in the area ever cover that.
Right.
We're trying to look for the songs that were, you know, bangers on the album, but nobody's doing them. I mean, everybody does Paranoid. Everybody does Crazy Train.
Or
I mean,
Iron Man. Or,
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I
we
mean,
keep going back and forth, and eventually we're going to get around to doing it. But A National Acrobat. Have you heard that one?
No, I don't think
That's
I
a Sabbath tune.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
like a deep cut.
And it's one of my favorite Sabbath tunes for sure, dude.
But it's a
super
very
good.
cool song.
Or
Yeah.
like Electric Funeral.
Yeah.
We're working on
Yes.
that one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Then other songs like going from Electric Funeral, switching over to Kiss, God of Thunder.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I don't like Kiss's version of God of Thunder. there is a on YouTube. Check it out. It has Rob Zombie on vocals, Tommy Lee on drums, Slash on guitar.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, I never heard of
and I
this.
mean, it is. It's like night and day different.
Sure.
And I mean, they bring Ace Frehley out to
nice.
play also, and it's just like, wow.
Oh,
It
that's
gave
cool.
the song big balls.
Yeah.
So
I will say that Kiss puts on a hell of a show. I'm glad I saw him without makeup. So it probably would have been way cooler with makeup. But,
Right.
But at that time, it was the Hotter in the Shade album. So we're talking late 80s, early 90s, something
Yeah.
like that. And it was them.
I think that was like, I want to say I was like 7th, 8th grade when that came out.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Of course, you know, they had the power ballad on that one. It was just like,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was like,
Well, I
well,
feel
yeah,
you.
okay, so yeah, it would have
Yeah, I
been
feel you, bro.
late '80s because that was totally middle school, man. That
Yeah.
was totally middle school. But it was them and Faster Pussycat, which
Yep.
they were incredible, man. They were the band I actually went to see. And then opening for them was the brand new up-and-coming band, just had their first hit single on radio, Slaughter.
Oh, I loved Slaughter back in the day, which we got to see them a couple years ago at Rocklahoma, too.
Seen when they were new, and his pipes were
pristine.
And there was no auto-tune back then. You know?
Right.
It was awesome.
You all here are making me feel like a baby.
Yeah, we're old.
Yeah. I'm the oldest guy in the room.
Showing our age again. But no, I remember, do you guys remember, they were kind of like here one minute, gone the next, but you remember a band called Trickster?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the video? They were all riding on the mini bikes.
Yes, yeah, dude.
Like the guitarist had like one of the mini guitar. Yeah, it was crazy.
I loved that.
That was at
first tape.
Yeah, that was like the tail end of glam. So they were still very glam sounding, but they were starting to get away from the glam look.
Yes,
because none of them were wearing makeup, but they were all still real clean shaven.
Yeah, it's like they were the between step between that and grunge.
Yeah.
I remember them wearing some flannels and stuff.
Yeah, it was like them. Ugly Kid Joe came out about that time too. Dangerous Toys. You remember Dangerous Toys?
I remember them, but I can't think of a song.
Little Caesar. It was before the pizza place.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, they did a really cool cover of Chain of Fools. The song Aretha did.
Yeah.
I think it was an Otis Redding tune originally.
Yeah.
They did really cool. I remember thinking that was like one of the heaviest fucking songs I'd ever heard in my life. And, after the internet exploded and Napster and all that stuff, I revisited it. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is good, but this ain't fucking heavy.
Right. It's weird how you go back and see this. All right, I got a question for maybe both of you. What did you hear that, because I think we all like pretty aggressive music. I mean, that's not the only thing that we all like. But we all like some aggressive music, right?
Yep.
So what was the first thing that you were just like, holy shit, that's so fucking heavy?
Slayer.
All right.
Yeah,
Seasons in the Abyss.
Yeah.
For me, it was definitely.
That's they're such a riff-tastic band, man.
And the darkest riffs, man.
Oh yeah.
They just have like that
they have a
built-in
distinct sound. I mean, you hear Slayer and that's Slayer. But before
absolutely.
you hear the vocals, and then of course when you hear Tom Araya's vocals, you're just like,
that's Slayer.
It's Slayer. Yeah, you hear Lombardo's freaking machine gun, freaking yeah.
Well, and even Boss Staff was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, for fill-in, actually it was the first Slayer CD that I actually bought because I didn't really care for him for a long time. And it was primarily the vocals. He's just yelling. I get that. But I've learned to appreciate it over the years. I do like Slayer. It's one of those that kind of had to acquire the taste for it. But Divine Intervention was the first album after Lombardo left, and that was a really good album. But I just remember the opening line in like Seasons of the Abyss. It's just dark as hell, and South of Heaven, just dark as hell. And just amazing. But my favorite song of theirs is always going to be War Ensemble. I love that song, especially when it breaks down in the middle. That's an incredible song.
I can't think of how that song goes off the top of my head. I'm not a huge Slayer dude, but all right, I'll have to go and listen to that and check it out.
Mine would have to be Skeletons of Society.
That's a damn good song.
You hear that bass in the beginning, dum, 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 dum. Yeah. And it don't matter. It can be just somebody put it on and okay, that's Slayer.
Yeah.
Just from the kick drum.
You want to hear, this is super lame, but like I didn't get into Slayer, dude. I was scared to give them a chance in a way.
I get that.
Because and this doesn't come from my parents necessarily, but like when I started school as a young kid, like I was in Christian schools. And I was just like indoctrinated to just be very afraid of stepping out of that lane. Right. You know what I mean? So I'd hear music, and even if it was like fascinating and like stuff, I'd be like, no, I I can't listen to it. That's wrong.
Secular
That's so
music right there. That's secular.
like, that's wrong.
What's funny is
They're talking about evil stuff.
my first real rock concert was Stryper. It was in Joplin.
Yeah, dude.
Dude,
Like back when I was a kid, like
they were amazing.
I didn't even know that they were like more or less a Christian band.
Yeah,
like I just like, oh, they're they were just
They-
like one of those kind of hair metal bands that I.
They were amazing. They really were.
Yeah, they're really good musicians.
Yeah. And it was really cool. Memorial Hall at Joplin. So
Right
I
on.
mean, even far away, you're close.
Yeah.
But okay, so going down the Slayer rabbit hole, let's talk the big four.
Well, wait, I want to hear what's your band that really got you into heavy?
Got me into heavy. Honestly, where you were talking heaviest ever, right? That you
I
originally
think-
thought.
Yeah, I mean, I know I know that you were into like I was when you were a kid, kind of the glam stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say what like brought you into the next level heavy.
Really, the one that got me was fucking Iron Man. It was on the jukebox at the fucking bowling alley, man. Somebody would put that shit on. It's like, oh my god, that's what song is that? And I'm gonna go pump in like 20 quarters, man. We just gonna play it over and over again. And honestly, I never was that big of a Sabbath. I'm a bigger Sabbath fan now than I was then. Because the probably the next step in that was Motley Crue, and Shout at the Devil, which for a glam band is a heavy album. They were way heavier than
Right.
Oh,
Then a lot
trying
of
to
people
sing
gave
those vocals. Oh my
No,
God.
no. But it was Iron Man. I'll always remember that.
Yeah, that rocks.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about music. That stuff that sticks in your head. But I remember before I actually discovered heavy music, probably the heaviest song what I thought was the heaviest song was "Wild Boys" by Duran Duran.
I don't even know which song that is.
Yeah, you go back and listen to it, you'd be like, "What?
What are you talking
It's
about?
like there's not even guitar on that. What are you talking about?" I just thought, "Oh, this is heavy,"
Yeah. Oh, this rocks.
Perception as a kid is an amazing thing,
Oh,
Yeah.
especially when you
kids-
get to experience it through your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they discover it, and you're like, shut the fuck out.
Well, heck,
You want heavy.
it was great. Driving down the road, I put Iron Maiden in the van, and my 6-year-old's back there belting
Yeah.
Iron Maiden. I'm
Yeah.
just like, yes.
See, Maiden,
I am a good father.
Maiden's
I
another one
succeeded.
of those bands that I appreciate more now than I ever did then. God,
Right,
I always
right.
loved the album artwork, though, man.
Oh, yeah.
The album
Yeah.
artwork was always so creepy.
yeah.
Same with I never could get into the music of Iced Earth, but I always loved their album covers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the dual guitar harmonizing stuff, that kind of quintessential Iron Maiden
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of sound. It's so cool.
All right, Flash Poll. Favorite Megadeth album?
Countdown to Extinction.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I was late coming to the Megadeth
Yeah.
thing
Okay.
for reasons stated earlier.
Favorite Anthrax album?
I never was super. This is one that I'm like kind of more into now than I ever was
Right.
then. Maybe Sound of White Noise.
And honestly, I never really got into Anthrax.
Really?
I mean,
Yeah.
of all the big four, they're the one I
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
got into.
Right.
The Sound of White Noise.
Yeah.
John Bush is always going to be better than Joey Belladonna.
I
Always.
agree, dude.
Always.
Like Black Lodge is such a fucking good song.
That album was good. And Alive. That's the one and only time I saw Anthrax. And it was with John Bush for that album. And it was at
Nice.
the Canes. And it was fucking amazing. Because you're all packed in there, and they do a Beastie Boys cover. And yeah, man, it was fucking great. And to top that off, the opening band was Fight. We've talked about this before.
Yes.
Which was Rob Halford's first band
Okay.
after Priest. And he was the opening act.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh, shit. And you want to talk about when he hits a high note in the Canes ballroom, every freaking thing just vibrate. It's incredible. And I was never a huge fan of those high vocals, man. But yeah, after that night, I was like, this dude is a god. You know?
Yeah.
Favorite Metallica album?
And Justice for All by far for me.
Kill 'em all.
Kill 'Em All? Yeah. And Justice for All. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I totally get
Kill 'em all. Being a bass player, it has anesthesia on it. So
Yeah.
I got to give it up for that right there.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. Like Cliff Burton was a man. I'm not disputing that at all. I'm not a thrash guy. I never was into the thrash metal thing. Like,
so I'm not going to ask you your favorite Exodus album.
I couldn't even name one. I honestly could not name an Exodus album. I couldn't even name an Exodus song. Like that's how much of a lost cause I am.
Oh no, you should revisit Exodus.
I should. Yeah.
Actually, their last album they put out, they had Kurt come in and he actually laid a couple leads down on it for
Really?
them. Yeah,
Really.
Little tidbit of information right there.
Oh, that's cool.
So that probably goes with Overkill as well.
Yeah. I'm same, dude. I couldn't even name a song.
Yeah.
Sepultura?
Oh, I do like some Sepultura.
Okay.
All right, yeah, they are thrashy, but they're kind of like next level thrash.
Well, they had a different vibe. They had that.
Yeah, they were like next level heavy from the big four.
Really, they were the ones that kind of started the groove metal. Honestly, if you want to give credit where credit is due,
right?
Because they brought in the Latin beats and it just kind of gave a different vibe.
And the vocals are just like they were more that new metal. I don't know, that false chord screaming.
Yeah.
Kind of Pantera. Pantera is probably one of those that really took me into that next level heavy.
They definitely did.
I mean, I know there's quintessential like new metal. That's like kind of the gateway into that whole next level of heavy. That I keep saying that, but that's just the way I think about it. Maybe that's not a agreed upon term, but
when you're revisiting Exodus, go look at Overkill and the album Horror Scope.
Horror Scope, okay.
Yeah, it's a really good album.
It's a cool name for an album.
Right. Okay, favorite Sepultura album.
Wait, I just want to say I want to build a horror scope now.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite Sepultura album. I don't know if I really have one. Just the first album name that comes to my mind when I think of Sepultura is Chaos AD.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say that's definitely my favorite. I don't know. Maybe Roots
AD,
too, though.
AD.
I mean,
I honestly I got to go with Roots because that was really where I think they defined their sound. Or I should say I think I think Max defined his sound.
Yeah.
Because it was shortly after that he left.
See, Refuse to Resist is probably my favorite song of theirs right there. So
I don't know, man. I love almost every song on Chaos AD. I love every song on Roots. But I love Arise too. That was a good album with fucking Dead Embryonic Cells and
I do. That is a good song.
Oh, what's the one?
I probably couldn't name another song off that album, but that song rocked. Yeah.
Arise.
Well, but yeah. I mean, maybe I know Dead Embryonic Cells. Maybe you showed that to me. Maybe that's how I know it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was really after Roots.
I've not done the deep dive into the thrash metal thing, but yeah.
Testament.
Yeah, again.
No,
dude,
no,
nothing. I got nothing.
How about you?
Testament's one of those. Can I name it? No, I can't. But if I'm listening and you go, "Yay, this is Testament," okay, I like this song.
Yeah.
I've heard this one.
I think Testament is easily identifiable by his vocals. Chuck Billy's vocals are pretty distinct. Musically, they've changed a lot. Like I dove in on I think it's Souls of Black was the album, and then The Ritual got a little more modern. But to me, my favorite Testament album is Low, and it's probably the most modern but still being thrash. And it honestly it's after Alex Skolnick left. which he was really kind of the proggy element
Oh,
to
really?
him. I shouldn't really say that because the rhythm guitarist was really the primary writer. But it definitely, the vibe changed after he left. And the album Low is just brutal. And it's amazing.
Right on.
You get a chance to check it out.
Yeah. Well, it's getting some good recommendations here.
Yeah.
Get some old school recommendations. Yeah.
Sweet.
I got plenty of those. And the old man in the room.
It's not old man, it's experience.
Well, man, what are some key influences for you as a musician, do you think?
Slayer.
Fucking Slayer.
Slayer!
It depends on, I mean, are you talking me playing guitar, playing bass? Bass-wise, of course, Cliff Burton. Then, of course, I've listened to a lot of Victor Wooten. Love Victor Wooten on the bass. I mean, he's just phenomenal.
How could you not? That guy's
exactly. Or
pioneer on the instrument.
Or heck, Chili Peppers.
Yes.
Love Chili Peppers. I mean, Flea is just a monster. And
I'd probably have to name Blood Sugar Sex Magic as one of my top 10 all-time inspirational. Like, without that album, I probably wouldn't be who I was,
I mean, vocally, I go to Iron Maiden. I mean, Bruce Dickinson is a god among men on vocals, or even go Queen. I mean,
oh yeah,
I love Queen. I mean,
so a quick side note. Speaking of Queen, today in the mail, I got the Flash Gordon soundtrack on vinyl.
I saw that.
All right. I listened to it before I came in. It was so cool.
But yeah, I mean, everything on them. I mean, drums, vocals, guitar. I mean, even Deacon on the bass. I mean, he hits that pocket and he just grooves.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know what you want to call it, instrumentation, or if they're just the way that they composed all the parts of their music. Queen, it's just so perfect. All the harmonies.
Well, and after watching the movie, I didn't realize how much each member contributed.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and just looking at the back of the album today.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of them was, their respective instrument. Then every one of them was vocals, and every one of them was synths.
Oh, wow.
Every one of them did synth work.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
But that movie was really good.
I thought it was
Bohemian
really
Rhapsody?
I've watched it several times. I mean, there were certain parts about it I'm like, that didn't happen. Or
it was embellished.
Like the thing that pissed me off the most was the Live Aid performance they did. I'm sitting there, I'm like, no, this song came next. You cut this song out. I've watched that performance.
Have you watched on YouTube? They do a side by side.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yep.
Wow.
Of just the it was just Bohemian Rhapsody, wasn't it? Or, no, I can't remember which song he did live that they featured the whole song live during the movie. Anyway, they did a side-by-side comparison, and they really tried to do it shot for shot.
Yeah. I mean,
cool.
It was really cool.
During the movie, they actually went to the point of the guy who played Freddie. I can't think of his name right now.
Rami Malek.
Yeah.
And he's an amazing actor.
He actually took vocal lessons that way as he was actually singing the song so that they could get the muscle movements in his throat to match.
But the voice that you're hearing on the film is not his voice.
No, it's not.
Right.
No.
But the guy that did do the voice,
they had him sing it so that the muscles in the throat matched.
Yeah.
The guy that did actually do the singing on that though, freaking nailed it. I forget the guy's name. I should know it. I was just talking to my friend Todd about this. And he was like, yeah, it's this guy, it's a Canadian dude, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, like totally nailed the Freddie Mercury vocal tone.
I don't know. It gave a whole new insight, and not only just to him, but into that band, which just adds more to the appreciation of them. just how visionary they were. They're not going to be the first ones I grab to listen to, even now, but I certainly appreciate what they did and how they did it. I mean, needs to be more drive like that nowadays in most people. But yeah, to see how that was just cool.
Yeah,
how
for
involved every single one of them was. Even when they were having arguments during writing songs and stuff like that in the movie, I was like, "Oh, this is fucking cool." He didn't just show up to play drums. No, he wanted to sing this in this key, and
right.
They are all
perfectionists.
Well, and really, really incredible musicians.
Mm-hmm. Something what did I read? Something about I'm fucking drunk too many PBRs apparently because I'm drawing a blank. The guitar player
Brian May.
Oh yeah, had a heart attack.
He had a heart attack.
Yeah, still with us though.
Yeah,
and that is a guy who has a completely unique tone.
Yes, built his own guitar.
I was gonna say his guitar is hand built by himself.
Yeah.
Him and his dad built it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he can change the phase of his pickups too,
right,
is really, really cool.
Yeah. I know that there's a specific wiring pattern for a Les Paul that can reverse the phase of each pickup with a push-pull pot that Jimmy Page utilized. It's called the Jimmy Page wiring for that same purpose. And he's one of the first ones that used like a treble booster pedal in front of his amp to push the preamp to like really send it into overdrive.
Well, he kind of had to because he was playing an AC30. So,
yeah,
I mean, it's not going to get very dirty.
Right, right.
Oh, and then straight down to what he uses for a pick.
Yeah,
he uses pence coins.
Right.
I mean, that's what he uses for a pick.
That makes me want to file down a quarter.
Well, it's like Billy Gibbons. He uses pesos in ZZ Top.
Does he really?
Yeah, he uses pesos.
Okay.
Yeah.
And really, really thin strings.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah. You'd think you'd break them left and right.
I know.
Especially with a peso.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he's probably got a really light hand. I mean,
yeah. I used to try to use
finesse,
titanium picks at one point, and I just kept slicing through the fucking strings.
Yeah, I hit way too hard. I finally switched to mediums instead of heavies because I was breaking too many strings.
I go as heavy as possible.
Yeah,
heavy motherfucker.
I am not a finesse player.
Yeah, neither am I.
No.
Oh, my phone went off.
But no, it's been a fun journey down old man music lane.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Anything else to add about June Jamz, about Shilohs Crossing, about Soupman?
I mean, June Jamz, June 6th, starting at 6. Starts with just Cody. $5 at the gate. Heck, I'll even say this right now. $5 at the gate, $15 if you come in a group of 4.
Nice.
Right. I'm saying
$5
that right now.
off.
Group of 4, $15. Save you $5.
There you go.
Exactly. BYOB IDs are checked at the gate. Remember, masks are encouraged. Social distancing is encouraged. We don't want this COVID-19 coming back and biting us in the ass anymore. That way we can't have any more shows.
Right.
So let's play it safe. Let's play it right.
Be respectful. Be respectful of each other. If somebody's got a mask, don't be belittling them.
Yeah.
They're there. If they got a mask, they're there to enjoy the show, same as you.
Yep. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
That's the message. Core message. Don't be a dick.
That would just solve like all the world's problems right there.
I'm telling you, a world without opinions.
Yeah.
Back to square one.
Don't be an asshole. All right. Well, Zach, how could people find you guys online?
Soupman's on Facebook. Shilohs Crossing, we're on Facebook as well. As of right now, that's about the only social media platform we are on.
Soupman's on Instagram too, right?
I am on Instagram.
You're on Instagram.
I am on
Okay.
Instagram.
Right.
Soupman itself is not as of yet. So, but
All right.
we got a few videos on YouTube, but
We'll add some links.
Yeah, we'll look up some
Absolutely.
links. We'll add them to the to YouTube. We'll add them to the audio podcast as well. If you're just listening right now, what's the beard?
Be sure to check out thebeardstruggle.com
Beardstruggle.com.
for all your beard care needs.
Yep.
Use promo code OffTheEdge15, save 15%.
Yeah. Get some cool shit. Help out this podcast. We'd appreciate it. And you'll appreciate it because your beard will be fantastic.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Zach, man, we really appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us today.
Drinking some beers.
hell, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Oh, all right. I'm instituting a new deal. We drank our PBRs. I know we each only have 3 bottle caps.
Okay.
But who has the best hand out of 3? Can we even do it with just 3?
Well, we can if somebody has a beating hand.
Okay.
So what do you got?
I got a 69 Queen.
69 Queen. What do you got?
I got a pair of 8s.
Oh. Boom! Pair of kings.
Oh, motherfucker. All right. Matt wins this episode of Off the Edge podcast. Thank you all for joining us. Please go ahead and subscribe on YouTube if you're watching this. You can click the little bell icon to get notifications for our upcoming episodes. Also, you can find us on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, and some other platforms as well if you just want to listen to us while you're at work like I do. I listen to a lot of podcasts walking around at work, so we appreciate you guys listening. Come back next time. Check out Shilohs Crossing and Soupman. Come out to June Jamz. I didn't say that right. June Jamz.
Which, after the time of this airing, will be this Saturday.
Not this Saturday. Week from Saturday.
This
We're
is
going to
gonna
air
come
this
out
on Sunday.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah.
This Saturday.
This Saturday, June Jamz.
Saturday. All right. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.
Peace.